Good morning. Good day. My name is Cole Connor. I am an artist and entrepreneur, and today I want to talk about one of the most hard things to do and execute. Goals. I want to talk about 2020 goals. I want to talk about how I went through setting my goals for 2020, why I did, and maybe some of what I did can help you. That's the goal. If you don't know me, I am an artist and entrepreneur. I spent a lot of 2019 not only figuring out my emotions. I spent a lot of 2019 honestly working. We doubled our business from double figures to triple figures, so that was like a huge step for us, and it took a lot of work. We went from 2 people on our team to now we have like 11 or something crazy. And in the beginning of the year, I tried really hard to be very creative and tap into my artistry as a rapper and a singer. And then as work picked up, I just died. And it's like my business killed my creative. And the whole point of having a business for me was to literally fuel my creative. At some point this year, I literally just said, I can't do it anymore. And that was very recently. So what we did was we spent a lot of time training our employees, making sure they are the right people, they fit the culture, and making sure they do a good job. So in 2020, me and my partner Jacqueline can move forward in becoming our best selves and not drown in this business world. What I've found is the business world is busy in the word for a reason. It keeps you busy, but other than fiscally and having a team, those are 2 really important things and 2 things I would never give back. It has killed a piece of me that I would never want to actually die. So 2020 is the year of bringing it back and testing the limits of not only creativity but where I can go mentally, how emotionally strong I can be. And yeah, so without talking your ear off, let's just get into it a little bit. These are my 2020 goals, and this is how I went through setting it up. So I've got a document pulled up on my phone right now, which you can look at below. I'm going to link it where you can view it and kind of go along with me. I spent days, and not all day, but I spent a lot of time really breaking down what I want to do in 2020, why I want to do it, and just mentally wrapping my head around it. One of the big things I learned this year was that you can't, credit matters. When I first started my business, I went into crazy debt, and I continue to go into debt as we begin to build the business, but the bottom line is credit matters, and you need it to be good to do certain things from a business standpoint, etc. So if we want to grow, the business is in my name, I have to get my credit right. That is an unfortunate fact. What I did was I broke down my goals into 7 sections. I'm a very scattered person. I got a lot going on in my head and my mental, and it's important for me to know. It's important for me to write all this stuff down and understand that I have a lot going on, and I'm a lot of a person. I'm not simple in any sense. So breaking it down into 7 sections and not just a list of goals really helped me. On top of that, what I did was I broke it down 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, 12 months. My life changes so incredibly fast, both as an artist and a business owner. We travel, we're moving around, we have employees pulling us in a million different directions. So I don't know what's going to happen in 3 months, nonetheless 12 months. I don't know at all. So it helps me to be able to break it down and then look as 3 months go by and be like, okay, wow, I did all that. That's crazy. Oh, 6 months. Wow, I did all that. That's crazy. So anyways, first things first was financial. And main getaways, I want to be financially debt-free and healthier. Financially healthy. This past year, it's been a struggle. We still pretty much check to check as we pay employees. And I have not been able to pay myself. I've not been able to pay down any personal debt. We do pay down our business debt, both in the business's name and my partner's name, but it's not as much as it should be, and we're spending too much. It's just the bottom line. We're spending too much. I went from being very broke, poor, to having money to spend on things, and I think that negatively affected our business. But this year I really want to get it right, and I want to spend less, be more frugal, and put the money in the right places. But also give back to our employees who work really hard to make sure the business stays afloat. So if you take a look at this, we don't have to go through every single one because that's really a personal thing. And honestly, I think this video is for me as much as it is for you. But it was really important for me to try to be reasonable when I broke these down. So save $1,000. I have never in my life saved $1,000. Could I save $1,000? Absolutely. Right now we bring in between $15,000 and $20,000 a month in income. We pay out a lot of it, but there's no reason why I shouldn't be able to save $1,000, especially in this 3-month period. It is possible. Biz income going to $20,000. Our highest we've hit was I think $16,000. So actually hitting 20 would be a huge goal for us as a company, and it's doable. And we just gotta keep growing at a steady pace. Pay myself, pay my partner Jacqueline, pay employees more, pay off all consensual debt, personal and business, and Jacqueline, and then read a financial book. So these are all super doable, and it just takes me putting the time in. As I transition out of the actual doing of the duties and more managing and focusing on the next step of our business, which is creative, I have time to make these things happen. And 6 months, it's just taking everything a step further. You can scroll through at your own pace and just kind of see what my personal goals are. But my credit's super low, so I'm starting at a low place. Your credit might not be that bad. So you just work on improving it one step at a time. Next for me is personal brand. So like I said, we focused on our business majority of the year, and my personal brand took a hit. Pretty much attention. So I'm from Columbia, South Carolina. There's, no one is huge is really making it out of here, but people just like the next hot topic. So when I wasn't out doing shows, out doing this consistently, I think you kind of forget, oh, who's this guy? I don't know. So I focus a lot on the business, and then our couple brand, my partner and Jacqueline, we focused on that a decent amount too. But when you're personally struggling, so if we're fighting and stuff like that, it completely puts that brand on hold, which causes, it's hard, just to say the least. So 2020, I really want to focus on my personal brand. Then when that gets strong, we can move on to focusing on a couple and things like that. You always have to make sure yourself is good first. I think you can even use that in a business sense too. So pretty much my personal brand, I want to build an audience of 75,000 fans, us YouTube subscribers, Instagram, and then make a profit off of my brand. I've told our employees, as my partner has, is we want to go this creative direction. So if we're going to do that, I need y'all to hold the business down and grow it, because I'm going to be all in to my personal brand. Now, this isn't selfish. Selfishly, yes, I want to be successful, and I want to make it not only as an artist, but as a videographer and just telling stories. But really, it's the next leg of the business. If we can start making money off entertainment, that's the route I personally want to go, and a majority of my team wants to go that route too, so it makes sense. So yeah, typical 3 months, 1,000 subscribers on YouTube. I only have 165 with a year and a half of work put in. So it may seem unreasonable, but what I find is as you keep going and you try different strategies to grow, subscribers just kind of happen faster. I don't really know what it is. The first 10 were so hard, and I heard someone say this one time, the first 10 are hard, the first 100 are very hard, but it just gets easier as time goes on, unless you get stuck. But we're always switching it up. Strategy's good. I think we can hit 1,000. Instagram, just upping it, set up tools to make income. I've studied YouTube and things like that so much, I know how to make money off of it. It's just about sitting down and doing it. I'll let y'all go through and look at the other goals. Finish an album, sell albums, and by the end of the year, I want to be able to make $10,000 off my brand. Compared to, my business, that's nothing, because my business is making that a month. But it's way different when your personal brand is bringing it in. Not only will that help me pay off debt, but you build that lifelong fan base, and that's what I'm looking for. That's what I'm looking to build. So the next category or section for me was relationship. I am a hopeless romantic. I'm a person that if I'm in a relationship, I want it to be strong, I want it to be stable, and I want to feel like that person is my rock, and vice versa. So this year was a struggle where me and my partner, we went through a lot of ups and downs, and it was honestly just really difficult for me personally, emotionally, and for her too. We're dealing with a lot of things from our past have gotten brought up, and like trauma from childhood. It's affected our relationship. So now I want to just let the past be the past. You know, we always remember the past, but really just start fresh and more emotionally intelligent and ready to be each other's, as corny as it is, our forever. Like, you are my ride or die, my queen, and I'm your king. So ultimately, I want to finish building the foundation of a loving, caring, judge-free relationship that carries me into the next stage of my life. And for me, that's family. Um, family might be a couple years off, but like that's what I'm looking for, and that's the type of woman I want to be with. Someone who can, build a family with me. And we've built a family with our business, but taking that further and actually starting having children or adopting or whatever it is, it's really important to me. So I really haven't fleshed this out all the way, but because I don't really have the answers, but I have some ideas written down, and I'll continue to flesh that out. Next one, personally for me, was friends and family, and this is another one that's kind of hard to flesh out because I don't know what my life's going to look like. But I want to be more present physically and mentally in my friends and family's lives as I've dove into this business and my personal brand. I mean, for years, it's hard to maintain friendships. It's hard to take the time to invest in people, and it's hard to know which people to invest in because you don't know who's really invested in you. I really only got a couple friends that I know that I should invest more time in, and that's my goal for 2020 is to really sit down with them more, ask them questions, learn more about their lives, and even if they're not the same friend to me, be at least a friend to them. But you have to be careful because you don't want to give away too much of your energy, so make sure that these people are worth it. This and the next one are probably, all these are important, but for me, health. I grew up in the South. I never was really taught how to be healthy properly, and this is a big step for me this year. So I want to live a healthier, more fit lifestyle and lose my layer of fat and addiction to sugar and fast food. I'll do more videos on this in the future, but it's huge for me. I love sugar, love fast food. Vegetables was a no-go for the first 23 years of my life. I'm 26 now, and it's been a huge struggle trying to change my lifestyle because I have a body structure. I want to be fit, I want to look good, walk around with my shirt off and feel confident. But because I have that addiction to these foods and lack of exercise, I'm stuck in this middle where I'm not fat by any means, but I have a layer of fat, and it bothers me, and I'm insecure about it, and I want to feel confident and happy with myself and my body, and I'm just not quite there yet. I know I can do better. So for me, 3 months, I want to start intermittent fasting, fast food less than twice a week. So I'm starting slow. That may not be a big deal to some of you, but to me, sometimes I eat it 5 times a week. So it's a big deal to me. Exercise 5 times a week and meditate daily. And so this isn't just exercising. I'm talking about mental clarity, mental health as well. 6 months, yoga 3 times a week. Start getting into breath work, Reiki, vegetarian diet. I don't know if I'll stay a vegetarian or vegan or whatever forever, but if I could get to a point where I can do it and I could learn to eat these vegetables more often, it would tremendously affect my entire lifestyle, and that's where I want to get. I just want to be more active. I want to be able to do parkour. Right now I'm 26 years old and I start jogging and my knee hurts. It's because I don't exercise and stretch enough. So I'm really trying to get to a point where I am making myself get up. I'm working out, exercising. I'm making fit videos at this point. I'm cooking 5 days a week. And I'll go to yoga school. My partner wants to go to yoga school, and that's been her dream. I've never really thought about it. But it sounds like a challenge. It's something I would like to work my way to, where 2021, I'm, doing yoga school. And actually, I want to jump back real quick. That reminded me. In 2021, for financial, what I put is that I want to be debt-free. And I got this from Asia Dang. She is a YouTuber as well, and she got huge off doing the debt-free scream. Personally, credit card debt, I want to be able to scream about that at 2021. I paid off, it's $12,000 of credit card, maybe 20 total of credit card debt. It's a really big goal of mine. And to speed this up, I'm trying not to be too long, but the last two This one is intellectual. So I want to learn the things I've always wanted to learn. I want to be more knowledgeable in both learned skills and intellectual property. Every year for years and years I've wanted to learn guitar more, learn how to sing better, piano, skateboard, snowboard, paint, draw. These are all things that I've craved doing, but I just don't make the time for it. I'm distracted by music, or I'm distracted by life and business at this point. I want to do it this year. I've told my people I am not working on these minuscule tasks. I'm not. I'm focusing on being this better person so we can expand. That's what this includes. So, I mean, this may seem simple, and I didn't want to break this one down by every 3 months because I want it to last throughout the year. I'm just going to see how it goes. But focus on one skill each month. So I've written down a list of 12 skills I would like to learn. One of them is cook, one of them is yoga. And these are all things I know how to do a little bit, but I'm talking about deep diving. Books on these things, and focusing several hours a day on each one so that you actually learn a new skill by the end of the month. So I'll probably take you along with me on that journey because it should be pretty interesting. And then by the 12-month mark, I would just like to have read a book a week, learned 12 new skills that I've wanted to learn my entire life. Because that's the thing is you think, oh man, only 12, this is what I think, only 12 skills in a year, that's not very much. But last year, what did I learn? Other than business. I didn't learn anything. So 12 is better than nothing. If I can start with 12, I'll be happy. Lastly, I didn't want to put this on my list at first, but it's what fuels us. It's what, I love business deep down, so that's my last section. I love our team. I love being able to look at people that I've helped to train, and I'm putting them in a position to better their lives. It is beautiful, honestly, and I love it. So I can't deny it. But this year I want to provide mentorship and marketing prowess to our team so we can double income and grow in our market. And, that's like I really like the way that sounds. It sounds cool. But what that means to me is I'm still going to be thinking about ways to grow our business. I'm still going to produce content and, make sure they have the right conversations, say the right things, do the right things. But I'm just not going to be physically there in the office to be distracted all day. It's going to be like, yo, try not to call me between, 10 and 5 every day. You got a question, call me in the morning. We'll talk about it. We'll figure it out. You got a problem, let me know. And I'll be there for mentorship. So this one, 3 months, I want to transition Jacqueline and I, as my partner, completely out of this thing. Where we're not doing daily transactions. It's just mentorship at this point and growing in this creative direction. Set up our team for success. Teach team how to grow and expand. Expand specific people to roles that they deserve to be in. 6 months, just keep on expanding, and pretty much by the end of the year, I want to have doubled our income, which would be humongous for us and our team. And then I want to open up an office space. If we can double our income, we can definitely open up an office space, and by that time, there's no telling where we'll be, and we may be able to really build a hub of something special in Columbia. So I'm excited about the possibilities for that. That's how I broke down my goals this year. I feel like it's really important to take the time to figure out what you want to do, or just time keeps on going by and you don't get to do the things you wanted to do, and it's very unfortunate. And I've done that for 25 years now, 26 years really, and I want this next year to be different, and I'm taking steps to do that. Don't be overwhelmed by this long list. You don't have to do it this much if you don't know what you want to do, etc. Start with one section, but if you're like me and you really like to break things down, I would do something like this 7-section one. And you can always add, you could add spiritual, you could add, I did intellectual, but you could do educational. It just depends on who you are. But anyways, let me know what you guys think. Please subscribe, like, comment if you enjoyed this conversation. Let me know what you do for goals, how you set your goals, if you set goals, if you think it's stupid, a waste of time. I know 2020, I'm going to be my best self. I know you can too. Yeah, I'm just excited where we go together. Make sure to subscribe, check out some of our other stuff, and have a happy new year.